80% of every watch Timex sold relied on one Arkansas factory. That factory produced 22 million units a year. In 2001, the company shut it down and shipped production overseas. 3 small workshops refused to follow. On June 20, 2001, Timex Group finalized the decision to shutter the Little Rock facility, ending a 56-year legacy of domestic watchmaking that began in 1945. The plant operated as the primary industrial node for the entire brand, stamping out the metal cases and internal components that kept millions of wrists ticking worldwide. When the final gates locked, the remaining 85 workers were laid off. Their highly specialized skills in die-cast machining and precision tooling instantly sidelined. Decades of institutional knowledge, passed down through generations of watchmakers on the factory floor, disappeared overnight. The closure severed the last major artery of mass-market American watch production, leaving the United States without a single large-scale facility capable of manufacturing watch cases. A half-century of industrial self-reliance collapsed into a corporate spreadsheet. Timex Public Relations Manager Jim Katz summarized the corporate decision-making with stark simplicity. He said it is all about efficiencies. Under this balance sheet logic, the remaining manufacturing operations were immediately transferred overseas to the company's massive hub in Cebu, Philippines, alongside expanding production lines in India and China. For veteran employees like Dick Millerick, who spent decades mastering precision assembly, the closure instantly evaporated, a specialized trade pipeline, forcing skilled artisans into unrelated local labor. This cost calculation did more than eliminate these final manufacturing jobs. It systematically dismantled a self-sustaining domestic ecosystem. When the Little Rock machinery went completely silent, the era of mass-market American watchmaking ended, surrendering decades of industrial sovereignty to lower-cost global arbitrage. In 1992, in Mountjoy, Lancaster County, Roland Murphy founded RGM Watch Company. While mass production fled overseas, this small Pennsylvania workshop began reclaiming the trade, not by chasing volume, but by rebuilding the complex core of the mechanical watch on American soil. RGM machined its own cases and movement components in-house, establishing a standard where approximately 90% of the materials in its watches are sourced domestically. The defining proof of this recovery arrived in 2008. Roland Murphy introduced the caliber 801, named for the workshop's West Main Street address. It stood as the first high-grade series-produced mechanical movement made in America in over 40 years. Featuring a traditional bridge train layout, a classic balance wheel, and hand-finished plates, the movement proved that the fundamental engineering of horology had not been permanently lost to offshoring. This was not a restoration of the old industrial assembly line, but a localized blueprint for survival through high-grade craftsmanship. In 2013, another strategy for survival took root in a Los Angeles workshop. Cameron Weiss founded the Weiss Watch Company with a focus on total in-house production at a micro scale. Having trained under the Swiss WOSTEP curriculum, Weiss sought complete control over his supply chain, transforming raw metal into finished timepieces under one roof. The core of this approach is the manual wind caliber 1003. Inside the studio, CNC mills carve the movement's brass and steel components, machining main plates where every hole is the size of a grain of rice. Weiss then hand finishes, plates, and assembles each caliber. This obsession with structural control extends to the exterior. Rather than sourcing pre-made parts, the workshop machines the watch case, crown, and buckle from a single solid 8-foot rod of surgical-grade 316L stainless steel. By machining the case and movement in-house, Weiss turned the craft from an outsourced assembly line back into a self-contained discipline of absolute precision. In 2013, Penn State engineering students R.T. Custer and Tyler Wolf founded the Vortic Watch Company in Fort Collins, Colorado, choosing preservation over fabrication. Vortic salvages, cleans, and restores antique early 20th century pocket watch movements from Elgin, Waltham, and Hamilton, rehousing them inside modern cases CNC machined in their Colorado workshop. This model of industrial rescue faced immediate pushback. Swatch Group's Hamilton sued, but a landmark September 2020 federal court ruling secured Vortic's right to upcycle these historic movements. By protecting this preservation workflow, the ruling reframed American watchmaking as a physical act of stewardship, keeping the country's original industrial heart beating. The millions of watches once stamped out in Little Rock are gone, replaced by highly automated, high-volume assembly lines across Cebu, India, and China. In their place, RGM, Weiss, and Vortic operate not as industrial replacements, but as fragile outposts of survival. One rebuilt the mechanical engine from scratch, one secured the entire supply chain, and one rescued historic movements from oblivion. Made in America no longer denotes industrial scale, but the stubborn preservation of a nearly extinct skill set. The question is no longer how many watches a factory can produce, but who still knows how to make them. Corporate giants abandoned domestic manufacturing, but they could not kill the craft. Today, this quiet resistance proves that true heritage cannot be outsourced. Join the conversation in the comments.